Yo ho! What's going on, guys? It's just Grim Reaper bringing you guys the Natsuno Taizai. Seven Deadly Sins, chapter 315. The greatness is back. Last chapter we started off the great battle between Meliodas and Zeldris and the Demon King. As you already know, the Demon King possessed Zeldris' body once the Ten Commandments were infused within him, and he's now over this lake to gain magical power. Now, one thing that I noticed in the chapter is the emphasis to that. Now, it was told to us that he's here to, like I said, to regain his power so that he could actually fight and, be to the level that he used to be. But Meliodas got that hit on him quick and early. So I'm not sure if Nakaba's trying to emphasize the fact that he's not at that point yet. And that's maybe why Elizabeth was able to, do what she did later on in the chapter with that big reveal about Stained Ellie. That was fucking amazing. So I'm both concerned and optimistic as to seeing the Demon King get stronger and whether Meliodas and Elizabeth will be able to beat him before he gets to a point where he is too strong. Now, we all know that this has to be resolved in a certain point, so I know for a fact Meliodas will beat him, but I'd like it to be after he shows off a bunch of powers, a bunch of capabilities, and he actually get a really, really good drawn final fight. The chapter actually started off with a really, really, really good cover page. We get the Demon King in the corner with the demonic mark coming down his eye, looking badass in Zeldris' body. Meliodas in the background with his back turned, and in the main image was Elizabeth sitting there in the center in all her sexiness in a nice ass outfit. She looked great. Great cover page art. Amazing. Another piece of art that I really, really liked, and I think that spoke more words than the actual writing did, was seeing Elizabeth get captured. So the Demon King got behind her, as we saw in the chapter, after one of Meliodas' attacks, and he gripped her, he captured her, and he was going to use her as a hostage, so he couldn't get hurt anymore from Meliodas' assault. He would have Meliodas with a handicapped situation. He told him that he shouldn't have brought his beloved here. Now what is he going to do? And then Elizabeth showed off and told him that I don't need Meliodas to protect me. I'm strong enough. I've come here to beat you myself. And then she showed her power. The true strength of Bloodstained Ellie, as I mentioned previously. That panel looked really, 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 really good. The reason why I say it spoke more words than the writing did was because her head was turned. And she was in a stance that didn't necessarily display fear or that she was in peril or distress like other times. Like we've seen her whenever she's getting attacked or whenever something's happening around her that involves battle, conflict, and chaos. This time she was calm and relaxed, and I could tell immediately that something was going to happen. And she put in the work. I love that. I love when pictures tell me more than what is needed to do with the writing. Now, as I mentioned before, it was referenced in this whenever Elizabeth was beating the Demon King when she pulled out her arc to stop him from holding her hostage by the neck. Meliodas mentioned that if you underestimate her, you'll get hurt just like I did. They used to call her Bloodstained Ellie, remember? So it's well known amongst the demons who Elizabeth is and how powerful and how ruthless apparently she can be. I don't know the exact reference to Bloodstained Ellie, but if it's as obvious as it should be, then she used to be ruthless. Almost as ruthless as all the other guys. Whether Mael had a ruthless past, whether Meliodas indeed had a ruthless past, the Demon King himself, and now Elizabeth, as was mentioned before previously, that out of the 4 to 5 people that could probably make a difference if they were affected by Galther's curse, that Mael, Elizabeth, Rudisill, and Meliodas were of them. And to get another reference to that, along with all the other things that have happened in the storyline, Elizabeth's power may indeed be confirmed already. In the beginning of the story, she was able to fight back Hendrickson's ominous nebula with the light that she released in her uncontrolled state. After that, she even managed to use Arc to remove Daddy Eddie's arm while standing on top of Mama Hawk. In a 3,000-year flashback, she was even one to take on two Indras, and succeed in purifying them both with the help of Tarmio and Sario. And then even after that, she managed to constantly, efficiently, and effectively completely heal the Fairy King and the strongest giant we know to combat a 4-commandment archangel. And they even won the fight. Elizabeth, being marked and known as strong, has been supported the entire series, and the hints have been laid there the entire time. I'm wondering how much more powerful she'll need to get to actually win this fight, though. Having 2 people like them fighting the Demon King is preferable, but Elizabeth is indeed by far the most vulnerable at this moment. I'm interested to see what she's going to do and how much conflict comes her way in this fight. seeing that the Demon King's already willing to put her in uncomfortable situations. One thing to point out as well is that Arc works exactly in an inverse to the Demon King's the ruler. So as long as she's healing him, she'll be able to affect negatively the Demon King. He can turn it off as he did before, but that'll be to his disadvantage, as he'll be vulnerable to Meliodas and all his attacks, just like always. Then we got the clear reveal of the Indra beast that escaped from the demon realm. Now this isn't pleasant looking at all. It is drawn well or clearly, but I don't think it looks cool or like ominous or anything like that at all whatsoever. It does remind me of the Hydra concept that we've been seeing in different forms of the Orochi beast, but it's not particularly scary or cool in its design. It does seem powerful. On some like no homo shit, I think it nutted on like everywhere when it first came out because that shit came out of its tail and went upward. And then Merlin was like, "Oh, those are its kids." So I'm like, "That's literally skeet. It just skeeted everywhere." I'm glad to see that that's the first thing an Indra does when it comes into the real world. It skeets everywhere. That being said, that's one of the more interesting plot lines or perspectives for plot lines. Let's say that some or one of those or a few of those actually escape from the situation, which is possible. I don't know how small they are exactly, but they look pretty small. That's an Indra. Let's say the three Indras get loose on Britannia. That's three different Indras that they're going to have to fight eventually. Sure, they could probably win and beat them, but who knows how long it takes for an Indra to mature? It could be hundreds of years. It could be thousands of years before an Indra actually comes out to be as powerful as they are in the legends or whatever. And what if the guys aren't around to deal with them anymore? What if they're hidden? What if they're so well hidden that they're able to cause a lot of damage before any of the sins in the future could get to them? If that happens to be the case, then this spore, Indra spores that we want to call them, are super likely to be a plot line for an upcoming storyline of Taizai. We know that King Arthur's also coming back too, so now we have the possibility of the hero and something for the hero to fight. We already know how journeys can be made all the time and shit like that. This is exactly what we needed, or the seeds of what we need for the next portion of Taizai. I'm excited for that prospect exactly because of that. We don't know how or when or one instance, or if even in this instance during the fight, if Arthur's going to come back. It seems like, according to Mama Hawk, that is the reference that we're going to need Arthur to help resolve the imbalance that is present right now. I'm hoping that nothing is out of hand or that he doesn't show up like after, because that'll be meaningless. But regardless of that, we're at a high point here. A ninja is here, and I don't know if the Sins can take it alone. The last piece of the chapter that really pissed me off, but it's whatever, is this whole sacred treasure bullshit. Merlin fucking had it the whole fucking time. I don't even really want to fucking talk about it. Like, okay, it is gonna be what it is, but at least we got the little panel where like Bond was eyeing Merlin. So next chapter we're probably gonna get some more exposition about the circumstance of that, as well as hopefully a flashback for the Elizabeth situation. That's the thing that we should expect most, or that I would like to see most next in the chapter that's upcoming. But regardless of that, I don't think many people are gonna be okay with whatever excuse or whatever explanation we get for Merlin having the sacred treasure. That being said, I did like the chapter. I did like seeing Elizabeth's breast drawn so well, so often. It was amazing. I do want to see more attacks and more things defined and more named attacks from Meliodas versus the Demon King. As it's been a long fucking time, but like we don't really see that many named attacks from people anymore, or that are cool. It's just like regular or random arc shit or darkness magic to a certain extent. But these guys have attacks, so I want to see more of that. The Demon King wasn't as cool last time. The big ass fucking tentacles that Meliodas has that he pulled out, I wasn't as like invested in that design and how he is fighting. So to have him in Zeldris' body with a different design, with a different demonic king design too, because it's the power of the demonic king. That's why they look like that. That's why he has that full display now, as in Meliodas' new suit. So I want to see badassery. I want to see some cool shit drawn. Hopefully that comes out to be the case. Like the video, make sure you guys like, subscribe. Make sure you check out the Board Chat podcast that's coming up later on this week. And check out my reaction to the chapter. Fucking amazing. Like I said, 315 is moving the story along. Yo ho ho!